Hello everyone and welcome to I'm New at This. My name is Wandering and today we're going to be taking a look at some posts from r/maliciouscompliance. Our first post is from GM 10-96. Years ago I worked for a family-run business. I usually worked 40 plus hours every week, and when my first check didn't reflect time and a half, I went to the accounting person who informed me that time and a half was not a benefit we offer. Okay. It's a federal law, but whatever. Fast forward months of working for the company, 40 plus hours a week. One day, I decided to test for a city job. No guarantee I would get it, but it was a full day test on a weekday. I had to ask for a day off, and keep in mind I had only used one vacation day up until this point. Being honest, I told them what I needed it for and that I wasn't even sure I'd get the job. They granted the day, however, when I got back, the day after, I was fired. I applied for unemployment, as the firing was a surprise. Someone from the unemployment office called to tell me that my request was denied, as my former employer stated that I had received warnings. I had not. I replied, interesting, since I have an email from my manager from earlier the week I was fired, saying what a great job I was doing and our customers loved me, and they don't pay time and a half overtime. Unemployment guy says he'll call me back. On callback, he advises he overrode the denial and I would be getting my unemployment and who I should call to file a complaint for the unpaid wages. I didn't think twice. I took all the copies of my pay stubs and timesheets and filed the complaint. They launched an investigation and he was non-compliant with their requests for a meeting. Got to the point that the investigator just showed up one day and walked into his office. They demanded his books, and every employee past and present for something like 7 years got paid what they were owed, plus he had to pay a penalty, all while another company was in negotiations to merge with his. Down in the comments, somebody else asked, "So did you actually receive the money they owed you? That was a smart move, keeping your stubs and emails." OP replied, "Yes, I did, as well as all of the other employees. Rumor has it that he was in his office with the investigator screaming, 'Who did this to me?'" Definitely smart on your part, OP. Keeping copies of everything for you to reference in the future is always a good move. Our next post is from I Like Silly Mike. Happened about 2 years ago. Friend reminded me of this today. My next door neighbor's house is slightly elevated higher than mine. His gutter is not buried into a drainage system. It floods my side yard when it rains and had progressed to flooding my front yard. I've had nice conversations in the past, but he is totally racist when referring to the people who live across the street who are wonderful, nice people. I approached him about a year ago prior and asked him if we could jointly work on drainage issues. He dismissed me immediately and said, "I don't have any effing money to spend." I said, "Okay, no problem," and let it go for 6 months. I approached him again one day when he was outside and said, "I would like to fix it and I will get 3 estimates on the work and I will pay for it since I am such a nice guy and I had just gotten a bonus at work and I am tired of walking through a mud pit." He didn't say anything and I told him I would get back to him with a plan and need him to sign off for HOA approval. I am getting estimates around $2,500 to bury his downspouts and tie in drains in the ground and run to a pop-off valves in the back of the house. All 3 estimates wanted to do virtually the same work at around the same cost, so I contact the HOA, Homeowners Association, and put in a request to fix. They then go to him for approval and he says, "I will not allow him to do the work on my house." Now I'm thinking, your water runoff is flooding my yard and you don't want to approve and allow me to pay? The Homeowners Association comes back and said, "We talked to him and he, does not want you to fix the issue. 90% of the water is coming from his downspout." So here's the compliance part. I ended up putting in a walkway with shrubs on the side of the house, but that doesn't fix the flooding issue. It only helps that I don't have to walk in it. I then filed multiple complaints against my neighbor with the Homeowners Association for the damage caused. They send complaint letters to him telling him if he doesn't fix the problem, he would be fined. He had to hire his own company and fix his own drains the exact way I was going to do them. Then he asked me if I was going to pay, and I smiled and told him to go F off. So neighbor's downspout on house causes my yard to flood. I offered to fix it and pay for it, $2,500. He stupidly said no. He ended up having to pay for the work himself, and the money I would have spent paying for it went into putting in a walkway and a bunch of other things in my garden. Cheers. Very nicely done, OP. This was a very wholesome post. You took and you turned something that could have gone horribly wrong and escalated really quickly into something very peaceful that benefited you. Not so much the other guy. Our next post is from Cat Jesus with a Z. I work in a major pizza delivery chain that has so far been unsuccessful in out-pizzaing the Hut. Our store is in a college town and everyone is bored as hell right now for obvious reasons. So we've gone from maybe one prank call a day to at least 3 to 5, which isn't much, but still really annoying with how much more businesses we've been getting. Again, for obvious reasons. The worst part is how uncreative and low effort most of them are. At least 80% of them are, can I get a boneless pizza? Or is this the Krusty Krab? With the occasional number 9 GTA Big Smoke, insert copy pasta here. This had been going on for way too long, so I took up the habit of just hanging up whenever someone starts saying something stupid. The boss wasn't too happy about this, but didn't care enough to say anything until an incident where I hung up on someone who wanted that boneless pizza, and he called back upset because he actually wanted to order. So I get a stern talking to from Boss Man, and he sends a message to the company's group chat app saying, I know we've been getting more prank calls than usual, but please don't follow in certain people's footsteps and just hang up on them. Take the calls as seriously as possible. If they order something we can't make, calmly explain it to them and offer something we actually do sell. We want to try to make money off them even if they're acting dumb. So the very next call is where the fun starts. Thank you for calling. What can I get you? I'm so hungry. Can I get an extra large pizza with triple every topping? I'm sorry, ma'am. We can only go up to 1 extra and double each topping. Okay then. Can I get 20 extra larges of each meat y'all have? So like 20 pepperoni, 20 sausage, etc. These people are obviously high as heck and giggling in the background the whole time. Sure, give me a sec to ring it all up. Okay, so that's 180 pizzas. The total will be $1,000. I don't remember the actual price, but it was close enough. And it'll take about 3 hours. Awesome, thanks. We'll pay with a check when we get there. So I place the order, and not 30 seconds later, I hear what the actual heck from the boss, and he runs to the computer. How are they paying for this? He asks me. They said with a check. We do still take checks for orders over $200, right? They can't have been serious. What was this, a prank call? Not sure, boss. You said to take all calls seriously. He just grumbles and picks up the phone and calls the customer, and all I hear is super loud laughter as he hangs up. Meanwhile, other employees had started actually making the ridiculous order, not noticing anything weird about it. So by the time the boss finishes the call and cancels the order on the computer, there are already 5 extra large pepperoni pizzas in the oven. So we got free dinner for everyone working that night, as well as another message in the group chat app simply saying, in regards to my last message, please just use good judgment when taking orders. Good job, OP. I'm proud of how you handled that. It was swift, it was smooth, and it had a pleasant ending. Everything worked out in your favor. Good job. That's all for now, folks. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, go ahead and leave a like. If you want to see more content like this, go ahead and subscribe and put down in the comment sections what else you would like to hear me read.